Tea Squad, it's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade P-Valley Season 2 Episode 4 review. A lot of my predictions over the past few episodes came true in this episode, and I will make sure to point them out. Okay, so we start off at the strip club, at the Pynk. Everybody is going up, turning up. And we see the divorcee from last season who spent all her divorce money in the strip club. She is back in full effect, throwing money. She got her stimulus check and she is spending it all in the club on dancers. She is having the time of her life. She ends up getting a lap dance by Toy. Toy takes her mask off, takes the girl's mask off, and ends up sneezing in this lady's face. And it got all on her face, her eyes, her nose, and her mouth, and on her tongue, and on her butt. And I wanted to gag for her. Of course, she freaked the fuck out and got to screaming and hollering and going off on Uncle Clifford. And that's when we learned that her ass is a fucking health inspector. And so since she got sneezed on, she want to be fucking petty and shut down the Pynk for violations and shit. So she tells Uncle Clifford and Autumn that they got 24 hours to get everything in the club that needs to be fixed, or it's going to be a $25,000 fine. And they like, $25,000? Like, girl, have you lost your ever-loving mind? And so then Uncle Clifford peeps that this the same chick that was out here driving reckless and drunk and being chased by the police and was in jail. So since she got caught out there, the lady was like, all right, I'll knock it down 11K, but y'all better have this shit done by the time I get back here the next day. And I'm like, God damn, the Pynk always going through some shit. They can't never get it all the way right. So after that fiasco, one of the dancers then calls out Roulette. And her and Roulette start arguing, and she was like, you got a lot to say for somebody that be back here giving awesome jawsomes basically to the customers. And she said it loud as hell, making sure that Uncle Clifford heard it. So since she got caught out there, Roulette immediately just went over to the girl and stole her in the face and started whooping her ass. She lifted her up over her shoulders and did a wrestling move, did like a bench press on her ass, and was whooping her ass. Big L had to grab her by the neck and drag her off of the goddamn girl. She kicked the girl in the face. The girl mouth bleeding. She crying and everything. It's just one big ass fiasco. So Roulette takes her ass into the back into the office, and Big L was like, how you learn that wrestling move? And so she's sitting there. She got an attitude, and she was like, my brother. And he realizes that like her brother must be dead. Like, and she was like, look, I didn't come in here for no goddamn therapy session, my nigga. Like, either you gonna fire me or let me the fuck go. So then he asks her, you know what I'm saying, what was you doing getting out that car the other night? And she was like, what was y'all doing taking that stuff inside the building? So they giving each other a stare down. And she was like, yeah, you mighty silent over there. You want to know my business, but you don't want to give over your tea. So they basically, I felt like at this point came to understanding that I do what I do, you do what you do, and we ain't gonna bother each other, okay? But you can tell they have a bond there that's starting to form, because he looks at her like a daughter, like, because he even mentioned that she reminds him a lot of his daughter. So I don't know what his relationship is with his kids, and the fact that this girl knows how to wrestle, so maybe that could be like her way out of stripping, you know, is becoming a wrestler. Y'all know how much of a wrestling fan I am, so I just love this storyline. Then we go to seeing a commercial on television where these two girls is reenacting the whole Bella Noche's viral meme. And I was wondering, are those the exact girls from that video, or were those actors? Because I couldn't remember how the girls actually looked. If it was the exact girls, that would have been love. Like, oh my gosh. Because they was like, if we can't go to the Pynk, where the hell we gonna go? So everybody is looking at the news and stuff, and Mercedes is at the crib, and she's on the phone with Uncle Clifford, and she sees that her mammy, Patrice Woodbine, is running for mayor, and they looking like, child. Even Ernestine was like, oh shit, this is all going to hell now. Call me Jesus, bring me to heaven, Jesus. So then Mercedes gets a text message from Coach telling her that he'll be in town and to be at the crib at 4 p.m. because he gotta get the rest of that Mercedes experience. So she got this like look on her face like, fuck, like I gotta do this shit, like, but I signed up for it, like I ain't got no choice, like I gotta get this money. So then we skip to Keyshawn and the crew. They in whatever city they're in, and she's at a beauty supply. Her lashes and stuff is all in the beauty supplies, posters of her and everything outside of it. And she is just losing her mind. She's so excited. This is everything that she has dreamed of. And I loved her little pink outfit and her part down the middle and her waves in her hair. And Gidget is back. Gidget is with her, spending the day with her, hyping her up, like, you know, they besties, so they was happy to be around each other. And Lil Murda gonna say to Wody, where my posters, where my brand deals? Every episode he asking where is his shit, because he is mad. And Wody talking about some, man, Wody ain't doing shit. So then we see Big Teak sitting on the hood of the car looking at a video on his phone, and it's really bothering him and triggering him because somebody got killed by the police in Chucalissa, a black man. And so it's taking him back to whatever space that he's went through in the past. And Murda was like, stop watching that shit, like stop. But he refuses to stop watching it, like he's locked in. And we then see Haley at the Pink, and she's there by herself. She's figuring out what the hell she gonna put on and whatever. So then she walks out the room, and she gets this eerie feeling coming from the Paradise room. And she's looking, and she's scared and shit. And then there's a big bam on the door, and she jumped. And it's none other than Corbin. So now she's feeling this, you know, really crazy energy and like spirit in the Pink. Uncle Clifford has felt it. Like multiple people now have felt this coming from that goddamn rooms. They need to perform an exorcism or something up in that motherfucker. So Corbin basically show up to be like, girl, I heard y'all getting shut down. Like y'all always getting shut down. You either gonna take this money or you ain't gonna get shit. This is my last and final offer. I'll give you $1 million. And she was like, look and see how easy that was. But I know if you was that quick to give me $1 million, that you can give me more. So basically, fuck you. And she slammed the door in his face. I do not like Corbin this season because Corbin got a couple of dollars and then lost his motherfucking mind out here calling women bitches and shit, acting like he hard or whatever, acting like he the 6th member of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I need for him to have several seats with his pussy ass. I do not like Corbin this season. Then we go to Andre. Andre has finally decided to take his black ass back to Atlanta to see his goddamn wife. He come home. He walk in the house, and I knew some shit was about to go down. He like, Brittany, I'm home. I don't know how the fuck she didn't hear it. I guess she was giving such good sloppy toppy that the squishing noise was all in her ears, because that nigga said he was home loud as fuck. So he hears moaning, and he thinks that like she might be hurt or some shit, somebody fucking with her. He runs up the steps and sees her sucking off one of her coworkers by the name of Dante, and he loses his motherfucking mind. He go in there and grab the dude, start beating his ass, and then he like literally starts choking the dude out. He's so fucking angry, and she like, Andre, stop, you gonna kill him. Andre, stop. And Andre like go to this zone where he literally is about to kill this nigga until he realized like what the fuck he was doing. So he let the dude go and told the dude to get the fuck out of his house and made him walk out naked. So he was like, you in here fucking this nigga in my motherfucking house? And she was like, he a doctor, he understands everything I'm going through. And he was like, nah, that's the jack to your motherfucking Jill. That's the nigga your family wanted you to marry. Like, get the fuck out of here. They ain't want you marrying some poor thug ass, not thug, but you know, poor old hoodlum ass nigga or whatever. He was like, I couldn't even afford this motherfucking house, and your parents make sure that they remind me of that every time they see me. And I'm looking like, you got your nerves because you was cheating too, sir. So have several. Y'all just need to end this shit. So he then tells her that he was coming home to basically talk to her about him running for mayor at Chucalissa. And she like, what? She was like, my father actually offered you a job and you would rather do this? She was like, boy, bye. And she was like, you're not gonna win. And that hurt him so bad because you can tell now in this relationship that he never felt good enough for her, and that it was something that he got from her parents often, but maybe this was like the first time that he really got it from her, that he wasn't good enough or he wasn't capable. And so he was like, all right, bet. And he left her ass. And I was like, well, who gonna pull the trigger and just file for divorce? Because y'all just need to leave each other the fuck alone. We see Mercedes arrives at Coach's crib. She is still in awe of everything. She got on her stripper outfit or whatever. And she like, Coach. And Farrah was like, oh, girl, sorry. Didn't mean to still be here. I'm just getting my camera so I can jet. So Mercedes hurries up and put her jacket on. It's hella awkward between them. They bumping into each other and everything. And they get to talking, and Mercedes tells Farrah that the reason why she had to dip out on them early is because of her daughter, and she shows her a picture of Terica. And I'm like, why is you showing this bitch your business? You don't know this hoe. You can't trust this bitch. You fucking her husband at the end of the motherfucking day. Don't trust this bitch telling her all your motherfucking personal life, telling her your business and shit. Because I was like, shit, that bitch could use that shit against you at some point. So, Farrah then gets a phone call from Coach. And while she's on the phone, Mercedes gets on the pole and gets to twirling around and shit. And next thing she knows, Farrah starts taking photos of her. And she was like, no, we're not doing that. Because in the NDA, you said no phone, no pictures, no nothing. She was like, I won't tell if you won't tell. So Farrah gets to taking, all these really gorgeous pictures of Mercedes on the pole. I want to see them damn pictures. Shit. So then we go back to the Pynk, and, the city is in turmoil over, this protesting about them killing this black boy. Corona is still going on. People ain't got hand sanitizer and stuff. It's just running amok in Chucalissa. And Clifford ends up taking Ernestine with him to the Pynk. And Big L then has Duffy pull up with these Africans with a whole bunch of supplies to get the Pynk where it needs to be. And I was like, you better come through, Big L. You better come through, Duffy. I want to sit on Duffy's face. And then we see Uncle Clifford in his his Ivy Park jumpsuit with the ass out. Have y'all paid attention that Uncle Clifford always got his pants literally sagging under his butt, like his whole ass be out? That tickles me, child. And so he sees Toy. He's like, girl, what the fuck is you doing here? You didn't cause enough. She was like, nah, I got something for you. And he walks and he sees, the dancers and stuff, and Diamond. They're all there to help pitch in to, get all the alterations and all of this shit that needs to be fixed. So he like, damn, like, Diamond, you back? He was like, yeah, I'm still on the group chat or whatever. And Diamond, you can tell by the look on his face, is weary about being back there, because what happened really fucked him up. Then we see Murda and everybody there in the car, in the hearse, heading to their next location. And what's his name? Big Teak is listening to, what's going on in the news and everything. Like, he's so transfixed on this. And then Gidget, who is driving, turns the radio and he clicks out on her ass. But what's his name? Shit, it's so many goddamn characters, y'all. Murda ends up hearing the song on the radio and he was like, hold up, ain't that DJ Never Scared? And Wody was like, nah. And then he got the list. He was like, holy shit, that is. So Gidget calls Never Scared, like, dude, we hearing you on the radio. He was like, yeah, like, I'm out here doing the damn thing. And so Lil Murda takes the phone and was like, nigga, you blowing up. He was like, shit, you could be blowing up too if you give me that motherfucking verse. He like, man. And I'm looking like, nigga, why are you hesitating on giving this man a verse? Like, obviously he doing something. He on the fucking radio. Your ass ain't. And so Wody snatches the phone like, we got you. Like, we got the whatever you need. We got it. And Murda was like, why you doing it? he was like, we don't even know who on the track. Nigga, does it fucking matter? You're riding around in a hearse. You need all the help you can get. And so we then see Big Teak tweaking because, you know, they want to listen to the radio, but a young black boy then got killed, and like nobody's acting like they care. And so Keyshawn was like, Gidget, you know, turn it back. Like, we need to listen to this. Like, she could tell, like, this is important. We need to be listening to this. And then that's when they learned that they have, that the city has an 8 p.m. curfew. And everybody like, fuck, that mean that we can't, you know, even do our event tonight. So they fucked. Mercedes is then showing Farrah how to strip and twerk, child. And at this point, I'm looking like, these hoes about to start fucking around. I mean, we saw it a little bit on last week's episode, but this week's episode really solidified that these hoes about to start fucking. Farrah was like, you know, I can't do that, you know, or whatever. I've never met anybody as strong as you and all this shit. And Mercedes was like, you know, I'm going to show you, you know, she pulls the girl's pants down and the girl ended up falling off the pole. And then she tried to pop her pussy and she don't know how to twerk worth a damn. And Mercedes ends up showing her how to pop her butt. And then the girl was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never done nothing like that before. And she gets to crying and stuff. And Mercedes like, what you crying for? And she was like, you know, I've never met anybody as, you know, like strong and like independent as you. And then she made a comment. She was like, I can't believe I'm crying in front of a stripper. And that hurt Mercedes' feelings. And she was like, you know what? You need to go because Coach going to be here in a minute. And she was like, nah, I'm the one that actually texted you. And I'm like, this sneaky bitch here. And that's why I was saying, like, you can't trust her ass. This bitch is a sneaky ass heifer. And so next thing we know, these hoes get to kissing and fucking and eating coochie and all of this type of shit. And I'm like, this is not what we wanted for season 2, Katori. We did not want to see Mercedes tapping into her lesbianness. We want Mercedes and Maine, child. Where is Maine? Bring Maine the fuck on. I mean, we all know that this shit between her and Farrah ain't gonna last worth a damn. This shit is gonna end in some bullshit. But yeah, we are here for Mercedes and Maine. That's who we are here for. We don't want no other hookups, none of that bullshit. Ugh, you could have saved this storyline, child. So then we see everybody inside the Pynk, you know, trying to get everything renovated or whatever, everything fixed. And the dancers are talking about Diamond. Some of them like, you know, he's so fine, but he weird as fuck. And I heard that Keyshawn held him at gunpoint and all of this stuff. And Big Bone is listening or whatever. I told y'all that Big Bone and Diamond was going to end up dating. So Diamond goes to the back and he goes into the Paradise room and he immediately feels like he's walking in a puddle of water. He sees this hand coming up out the water. He's getting freaked out. It's like he's suffocating. He can't breathe and he's freaking the fuck out. And Big L comes into the room and like that what brings him back to reality. But he can feel like this evil presence in that room. You know, he's one of those, you know, people that knows about all the energies and all of that stuff. So then we see Wayne Kyle on the news saying if people get caught outside after curfew, it's going to be a $500 fine. So now everybody got to pretty much stay at the Pynk unless they going to leave right then and there. And so they show on the news Patrice preaching in front of a crowd of protesters, and Roulette is just tuned in to everything that she's saying, and she just locked in, and you like her eyes is welling up with tears, and she end up, you know, going to the back, and Whisper tries to stop her because Whisper knows like that it's some shit with her, but she was like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go to, you know, I gotta go to the back. Andre didn't walk his ass up in the club. I'm like, you come back and this the first place you gonna go to? Okay. So he sit down at the bar and he just look a mess. And Uncle Clifford was like, you look like a man whose wife just cheated on him. And he was like, I am. And so Autumn looking like, oh shit, damn. Like, I got a chance now. So then we see Duffy catch Roulette in the room crying. So he goes in there, asks her what's wrong. And she's talking about, you know, how, you know, these police just ain't gonna never stop. Like, it's just fucked up, the world we live in. And she goes on to tell him about her brother Demetrius and how he was driving with a broken taillight and the police pulled him over and they said he had a gun on him. And, you know, you can imagine after that what happened. And, you know, she's crying and he comforts her. And I was like, oh, I really love Duffy and Roulette. I want this to be a thing. I want them to be together because Duffy is fine. Yas. So then we see Big L outside and asks Diamond to come back to the club. And Diamond's like, no. Nah, I'm good. So Diamond was like, and I would suggest you find another job, because he like, this shit ain't right up in here. But Big L was like, as long as the Pink is here, I'm here. I ain't going no motherfucking where. This place is a gold mine. And he was like, and I need somebody like you to know where all the bodies are buried to secure this place. So Diamond give him dap. So I don't know if that meant he was going to actually come back or what. But then Diamond peeps Big Bone sitting on her motorcycle smoking. So he walk over there to her and she throwing it on thick on that nigga. Like she ain't acting like she's scared of nothing. She like, what's good, nigga? I want you. I'm gonna get you. Get your ass on this bike. Let's motherfucking roll. I ain't like none of these other girls. And he ended up leaving with her. And I was like, okay. So we see now really how Miracle Watts and Tyler got together in real life. I can't wait to see that baby. Oh my God, I cannot wait to see that baby. So then we see Mercedes waking up alone at Coach's house in the bed, naked child. And she turns on the TV and sees, you know, that somebody got killed by the police. And then she checks her messages and sees that everybody been texting her, telling her the Pink is shut down. So she hurrying up trying to scramble out the bed. And she sees that Farrah left her literally 10 grand sitting on the side table. And so you could tell it kind of made her feel some type of way, because she probably fucked her because she wanted to, not even looking for no payment, but she's still treating her like a stripper prostitute. You know what I'm saying? I was like, exactly, girl. This is why this shit ain't gonna work out. Y'all gonna get caught and Coach gonna get pissed the fuck off. Like, it's gonna be a mess. So then we see Murder and everybody in Rome's suite. Everybody smoking and shit. Rome doing coke. Gidget like, give me some. Big Teak still looking at the television, watching the news and everything. And Murder was like, you know, what's wrong with you? You good? He was like, yeah, I'm good. And he was like, see, shit, I hate when you get like this. And he mean mug him and walk off into another room. So Rome then turns the TV off to give a toast to Keyshawn. And why did he do that? Big T come on, why the fuck you turn off the TV? He was like, excuse you, why I turn off the TV in my suite? Like, nigga, you done lost your mind. And he was like, man, a man has died. And he was like, and like, what that nigga do to get killed? He was like, what that nigga do to bring that on himself? And he a big ass nigga that need to be restrained. And he all for Blue Lives Matter. He just talking like a straight up buffoon. And I was like, whoop his ass, because you know I can't stand wrong cokehead ass anyway. So they get to arguing back and forth. Keyshawn is triggered and shit. She about to pee on herself. Gidget like, y'all need to stop or whatever. Gidget and Big T get to arguing, and she was like, I ain't scared of you. He was like, look, little bitch, I will fuck you the fuck up. So he then ends up smashing one of the coffee tables or something with his foot, child. It's just a big ass mess. And I'm like, who gonna pay for that? Who gonna pay for that? Because we know you ain't got no money, Big Teak. So then we see Uncle Clifford back at the club, and he's trying to show the girls where they can sleep, and he runs across Autumn's clothes and stuff. And so that's when he realizes that this girl been sleeping at the goddamn club this whole time. So Big Teak is in his room and he overhears Murder in the bathroom rapping. So he go in the bathroom to take a leak, and he knows what he was doing. He was setting that dick out on the table like, I know you miss it. He was thotting himself out. So Lil Murder then immediately pulls back the curtain like, damn, nigga. And he looked at that dick and looked at him and was like, and walked off. And so after he got done peeing, Big Teak followed him into the room, and Murder was rolling up or whatever. And, you know, Big Teak gets to talking about, you know, this world don't want a nigga. It don't matter what type of nigga you are. The world don't want us. I don't even understand why my mama even had me and shit. And it made me tear up a little bit. That dude acted his ass off in this scene. He most definitely acted his entire ass off. So Lil Murda walks over to him and starts consoling him and everything. And remember, I told y'all that the episode was about to come up when you would see that they was actually fucking around. I've been telling y'all that because I told y'all he was gonna kiss him on the forehead. So Big Teak looks up at him as he's sitting on the bed, and he was like, you know, but you gonna be an icy nigga. You my one nigga that I know gonna be all right or whatever. And Murda giving him that look like, you know, you about to get this dick, don't you? You know you about to get this dick, don't you? So Murda then bends down and kisses him. They kissing and shit and everything. And he let him know, like, it's that time, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So he get to taking off his clothes. Big Teak get to taking off his. Big Teak had a nice body. I was like, hello, how you doing? So when Lil Murda grabbed that condom, child, and had it sitting on the tip of his finger, and Big Teak took that motherfucker off with his teeth, bitch, and dropped it down low and put that condom on with his mouth. I was like, nigga, that take technique. Show me how to do that. And he started giving Murda some sloppy toppy. I was like, all right. And then they had a full-on sex scene. And I remember earlier this week, or it might have been like 2 days ago, JL Fines, who plays Murda, said we're going to make history in this episode. So I know that that's what he was talking about, was, you know, about the Black Lives Matter movement and all of this stuff. And, you know, seeing two black men, you know, play these gay characters and have a full-on black male gay love scene on a syndicated television show, which was historic. And they did a really good job with doing it. It was sensual. It was two black men that obviously care about each other and loved each other at some point. But it was a really beautiful scene. And I told y'all on last week's episode, and even I think episode 2 as well, that they used to be lovers in jail. I told y'all that. So we then see Keyshawn saying goodbye to Gidget. She gives Gidget some money, loans her some money or whatever. And baby, why she do that? Because Derek called her immediately as soon as that ping hit his phone, and she didn't answer. And I'm like, why do you keep on playing with this man like he won't kill you? Like you just playing with fire. So Rome was like, I see you had to send old girl on her way. She was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But that's still my home girl. So Rome was like, you know, I'm going to tell Wody to fire Teak ass, you know, because I saw how, you know, he was scaring you. And she played it off like, no, I'm good. And he was like, no, because I saw you. Like, if anything happened, you can come to me. Like, I always got you. Little did he know that Wody was listening to everything that he was saying. So Wody know that, you know, we can't really trust this nigga or fuck with this nigga. He ain't what he saying he is. Like, this nigga is for self. So then we see Andre and Autumn sitting outside the Pynk talking, and he tells her about the fact that he's going to run for mayor. And she was like, I think that's a good idea. Like, I support you. And so we see Uncle Clifford in the office listening to their entire conversation. And Autumn is telling Andre that at some point she is going to sell the Pynk. She does not want to stay here forever. And that, you know, she got $1 million offer from the whatever equity place or whatever, the people that's trying to build the casino, and how she got the, you know, $1 million offer from Corbin. She was like, it's just a matter of time. And so Mercedes walks in. He like, Cliff was like, shh, shh, shh. So Mercedes is overhearing her be a fucking snake as well. So the next thing we see is Uncle Clifford and Autumn going outside and confronting her. And he was like, you gonna flip the property? You gonna try to sell my motherfucking building? Like, what the fuck? And everybody else ended up coming outside too. And Autumn was like, it's just a building. And I'm like, damn, she don't even know what the fuck she's saying. There's so much history in that building going back all the way to Ernestine. And Clifford was like, it's just a building, but you living in this motherfucking building, bitch. Like, the fuck? So he was like, you know, well, let me go back inside, like, because I'm just done with this bitch. And it cracked me up when one of the dancers gonna jump at her. Girl, I cracked up. And Mercedes says to Autumn, like, now I see what Montavious meant, that you're an easy bitch to love, but an easier bitch to hate. And I was like, ooh, that's a read. But let me play y'all the audio of when I told y'all that this bitch was going to try to get over on Uncle Clifford. So I'm wondering, is Autumn going to do some shit where she sells the pink from up under Clifford because she's still majority owner by a percentage or so or something like that, if I'm not mistaken, because she's going to do something to fuck Uncle Clifford over. Mark my words. So I'm like, Lord Jesus, like, you cannot give a person like Autumn power, because we already see how she acted with the little bit of power she got over there at the pink. Back to the review. So the next day, Uncle Clifford and Autumn find out that they are still being fined because they did not have everything fixed the way that old girl asked him to. So Uncle Clifford quickly passes her that bill, like, here, owner, handle that. Then we see Lil Murda wake up in a hotel bed. The condom is on the dresser. He groggy and shit. He turn over and look, and Big Teak is sitting in the windowsill, fully dressed. And Big Teak was like, who the fuck is Cliff? And I was like, I told y'all. I fucking told y'all last week. Murda looking like, fuck, he done got caught up. So Big Teak was like, all this time you been out and you ain't never write me no postcard. And he throw that motherfucker and he walk out that room. And I was like, ooh, Lord, he is in his fifis. And listen to what I told y'all last week. So they having a little moment or whatever. You can tell that Big Teak wanted to say something even more, because it's obvious at this point that they had a relationship when they were in jail. Like I told y'all last week, that they used to be lovers. So I can't wait to see how Big T gonna react when he find out about Clifford and how deep Murda's feelings are for Clifford, because it's obvious that Murda still care about him, but he don't want to be with him. But I feel like Big T still has feelings for Lil Murda, and he gonna feel some type of way when he find out that Clifford then took his boo thing, child. So it's about to be a fight. May the best man woman win, child. Y'all gonna start listening to me. Then towards the end of the episode, we see Andre go back to Tydale's house, and he sees people leaving out the house with furniture and shit. He look like, what the fuck is going on? So then we see Tydale baby mama going off on him, and she was like, I don't know how you end up getting this house, but I hope you like deal with it. I hope you get your karma, whatever the hell the lady said. And so he reads the will, and he sees that Tydale left him the house. So he immediately calls Corbin, was like, meet me over here at my campaign headquarters, bitch. We in there like that there. It is happening. So he is for sure running for mayor, and I honestly 100% believe that he's actually going to end up winning, of course. Then at the end of the episode, we see Murda and all them in the hearse, and everybody's quiet. Everybody's in their heads or whatever. Him and Big Teak are sitting far away from each other, and he gets a text message, and it's from Cliff. Uncle Clifford texts him saying, you know, the world is really fucked up right now. Are you okay? And he don't even respond back because his head's so fucked up, because A, he done fucked his old thing, and B, he want his new thing, and shit is just a mess, child. And as they're on the highway heading, I think they're heading back to Chucalissa at this point, if I'm not mistaken, or they heading somewhere, but they show a city view, and we see smoke and stuff in the air from the ride-in and everything that's supposed to be going on. And then the episode goes off with a list of names of people who were murdered in 2020. And I don't know if it was from the hands of just police or just period, but it was so many names. It was just ridiculous of all the Black lives that were lost in just that 1 year. I have to say that this episode was fantastic. They touched on so many different issues in this one episode. They touched on abuse. They touched on Black Lives Matter. They touched on police brutality. They touched on homosexuality. They touched on spirituality and feeling spirits and ghosts. They touched on, you know, Mercedes tapping into her lesbian side. They touched on infidelity. They touched on prostitution. It was so much shit being touched on in this episode, and I feel like all the actors brought it. I have to give a shout out to the actor who played Big Teak. He played the fuck out of that role in tonight's episode. He gave you vulnerability. He gave you anger. He gave you being afraid. He gave you being sad. And he gave you so many different emotions in tonight's episode. From Lil Murda, we got gentleness that we don't really get to see from him, and vulnerability, and being comfortable to show that side of his self with him. As we've learned now through his 2 sexual partners that we've seen on the show, that Lil Murda is a top. He is not a bottom, honey. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, this was just an awesome episode. I'm in love with it. It was a really good episode. The next week episode looks like it's going to be even better. I give it an A+. Let's talk down below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.